My name is Brian Murphy. My degree is a master's in public history from the University of North Alabama. I graduated in December of 2017. I serve as curator for the Florence Mound Museum, Pope's Tavern Museum. I'm the chairman of the Florence Historical Board. I also serve with the Florence chapter of the Thousand Eyes program. I moved here in 2015 and was debating about finding a job versus possibly going back to school, and heard about the public history program. And I'd had a degree in American studies. It was my undergraduate degree. I was always interested in American history, but never thought of the practical application of that. So when I moved here and heard about the public history program, it seemed like a great opportunity to go back to school and try to do something with that initial interest that I had in American history. So I audited a class in 2015, in the fall of 2015, and I went back full time in early 2016. And I graduated, obviously, December of 2017. I ended up working here because I had a directed study that I did with Dr. Barsk, Dr. Crawford now, and it was a reinterpretation of Pope's Tavern. And so I worked on this with my boss and the people who were here as a student. And that fall, I was still a student, and they had a position open. It was part-time for all the different facilities, and I applied for that position and got it. So I was working at the Rosenbaum House, and I was working at Pope's Tavern, and I was working at the Indian Mound, all kind of part-time. And I'd done a little bit of this, of the reinterpretation, so I kind of had that going for me. And the position, the full-time position, came open in March. And so I applied for that and brought some ideas to the table I think they were impressed with. And so in March 2018, I started working full-time as a curator of the Indian Mound Museum. After that, we incorporated my project, my research that I had done on the reinterpretation of Pope's Tavern into the redesign that we completed of that facility in July of 2019. A lot of what I do is I work with the native tribes that have been here for thousands and thousands of years to try and tell their stories a little bit more and center their voices a little bit more. Specifically, the Chickasaw Nation. I've really enjoyed working with them to kind of highlight some of the stories and some of the things that they have to share about this area that they consider their homeland. So that's one of the things I really enjoy. And also bringing diverse groups together to kind of talk about history in an informed way has been a huge, I would say that's what brings me, satisfaction in this job. The advice that I have for students looking to get into public history or history is to build a solid network of people that you can trust, because it's not always going to be easy. But if you have a network of people that you can rely on and trust, and who have a very good perspective about what the field is doing, how the field is moving, and then sort of the methodology that goes into what we do every day as public historians. That's my advice, is to seek out those people, build those relationships, those professional relationships specifically. And then obviously community relationships, because that's so important into everything that we do. So I would say, relationships is 95% of it, and building those and trusting in those as a student, as somebody coming into the field, that's just so important for being able to do this work successfully, I think.